Hello and welcome back to the series Believe and Live. We've been looking at the Gospel of John with our key scripture being John chapter 20 verse 30 to 31, where John pens the reason why he wrote the Gospel and why he wrote down the signs that Jesus had performed. He wrote it down so that whoever reads may believe that Jesus is the Christ, the Son of the living God, and that whoever believes may have life in his name. My objective for this series is to paint a picture of a big Jesus, one who is able to do exceedingly abundantly more than we could ever hope or even imagine. So yesterday we started off looking at the very first sign that Jesus performed, and that was turning water into wine at the wedding in Cana. Today we find ourselves back in Cana, but this time where a royal official comes and approaches Jesus, whose son is on the brink of death. So just a quick side note, John writes and shows Jesus sharing the gospel firstly with a Jewish leader, Nicodemus. Then he shares the gospel with a Samaritan woman at the well, and now a Roman official. And this example implies sharing the gospel to everyone in the world. So let's pick up the story in John chapter 4 verse 48 to 50. It says here, "So Jesus said to him, 'Unless you see the signs and wonders, you will not believe.'" And that word "you" that is used here is written in the plural form. So not only is Jesus challenging the Roman official, but he's also challenging the Galileans who had gathered around them. Verse 49 says this, "The official said to him, 'Sir, come down before my child dies.' And Jesus said to him, 'Go, your son will live.' The man believed the word that Jesus spoke to him and went on his way." It is important to note that signs and wonders are not negative things. In fact, Jesus used signs and wonders all the time to draw people to him and draw people into a relationship with him. But the signs should always point back to Jesus. You can sense the desperation in the child's father as he begs Jesus to come home with him so that he could heal his son. Verse 50 simply says, Jesus says, "Go, your son will live." It says that the man believed the word spoke to him and went home. The scriptures go on to say that the man's servants met him on the road the next day to tell him that his son lives. And they confirmed that the exact same time that Jesus spoke to him the day before, "Your son will live," is the time that his son was healed. A point I'd like to draw from this is that space and distance is no obstacle for the Lord. Listen what Isaiah says in verse 59. In chapter 59, verse 1. He says this, "Surely the arm of the Lord is not too short to save." The Lord is big. He is powerful. He is all-knowing. And He is all-present. He alone is able. The verse that stood out for me most, though, is just one verse before we started in verse 47. It says this, "When this man heard that Jesus had come from Judea to Galilee, he went to him and asked him to come down and heal his son, for he was at the point of death." The father made a 37-kilometer uphill journey to go and see Jesus, to get to Jesus. But here's the thing, he went directly to the source of life. I want to leave you with this. No matter how challenging your situation is, no matter how dire it looks, go to the source of life, Jesus. He is all-present, all-powerful, and all-knowing, and He is merciful. Believe and live. Believe that Jesus is the Messiah, the Son of God, and live in the fullness of His name. Thank you so much for listening, and God bless you. We'll see you again tomorrow.